Good Erev Shabbos, everybody. In a 2016 survey, Pew Research survey, they asked people what was the most historical event that happened in your lifetime that affected this country. And if you actually look here at the list of what people picked, depending on what generation they were, 9/11 was definitely the number one by far. And then it seems that Obama's election came in second for the millennials and the Generation X. Um, this happened in December of 2016, so I imagine that that could have changed based on because that was what people were thinking about at the time, and people generally look towards these type of things when they're asked the question what they're thinking about at that particular moment, whether or not it was the most historical thing, as you have Sandy Hook and you have other things here that may be today. If people ask them, they may not be on their mind 100%. But when I think about these things, what things changed the world? So I'll take like something very trivial. So if you take like sports, for instance, so there's a whole thing, who's the best basketball player, LeBron or Michael Jordan, and people answer depending on where they're, who they grew up with. But when you actually think about sports, the most important people were definitely it would be Michael Jordan or Babe Ruth or Wayne Gretzky in hockey. And the reason why these people are important is not necessarily if they're the best. That could be always argued who's the best, but they're the ones who changed the sport the most. They're the ones who put the sport on the map the most. So before Babe Ruth, baseball wasn't America's pastime. Babe Ruth made baseball America's pastime. Michael Jordan made basketball so popular that it wasn't that popular at the time. I remember when he came into the league, but it wasn't as popular. He just really blew it up and made it so popular that it was everybody was playing basketball. So no matter LeBron James, he may be a great player, maybe he had best scorer, but he didn't have that impact on the game. And so when you think about history, there are things in history that had such a great impact that it just changed the world. If we look at these three parshios that are coming up, Bo, Bishalach, and Yisro, they changed the world. They shook the world. So Bo, we have the Jews. Not only they have the plagues, but we have the Jews leaving Mitzrayim and starting a nation that's going to affect the world in such great ways. Till today, the Jewish people, we always talk about Jews, or like to talk about all the accomplishments. I just actually met a non-Jew today, and he was telling me, he goes, "Oh my gosh, the Jews are incredible. You people, how many do you think you made ways? You made everything. I can't believe it when I was looking into how much the Jews did." This is a non-Jewish person just for no reason came up and talked to me like that. I don't understand. So the Jews from Bo, that's what happened with the Jews, and Bishalach, the splitting of the sea had such an impact of when people talk about history of what great events. And this whole debate until now, the splitting of the sea is a major event. And of course, the giving of the Torah, the Bible, will have a great effect on every major religion and all of morality till today. What an effect on the world that these three parshiot have. It's pretty incredible. In this week's parsha, we're told that Vayal ha'arba al kol aretz Mitzrayim, Vayanach bechol gvul Mitzrayim, kaved mod lefanav, lo haya kein arba kamohu, v'acharav lo yeh kein. That the arba, that these locusts would have such an impact that you never see that again. And if you look at Rashi, so Rashi mentions that what was so special about the Arba, because we see it in the days of Yoel that there was Arba, such great like that it says in that there wasn't an Arba like here. So he makes a difference. Rashi makes a difference between the Arba of a single Arba and multiple different species of the grasshopper, and the Ramban questions on him and says that whether or not it is, that's true. Maybe in this day also it is multiple Moshe's day, multiple Arba. Well, but the fact is that this Arba had such an impact on the people, such an impact on the land, that it wasn't easily forgotten. And every time we have these swarms, we compare the swarms and the devastation that it could do to the land towards this occasion. It shook the world. It changed the way people viewed the land and their vulnerability. Today, if we had to list the things that were so impactful in our lives, I think 9/11 would definitely be up there. But right now, if you ask people, everybody would say the pandemic, right? The pandemic is going to change the world. And the 9/11 really did change the world in so many ways. We can't fly the same way. Our sphere of protection that we thought we had was gone. It was pierced through our and showed our vulnerabilities, and so many things changed. The way we fly, the way we travel, the guard, how much we spend on protection. It's just everything changed after 9/11. And I imagine with the pandemic, everything's going to change after this. How we view health, so many things will we expect will change. So when something changes the world like that, then that's an event that we could point to and say, this is something that is massive in our life, and actually we could point to all the different issues that have changed because of it. And the Torah mentions these different parshios, and they mention these events and how much they've changed our entire world. And it's something very important to think about. When every event happens within the world, we have to say, what is the impact of this event? Sometimes the event impact could be just a local impact, could be something small. Of course, everything may change the world. They say everything's historical. They say, oh, this is a historical event. This is a historical inauguration. Everything historical. But a historical event should be something that really changes some things, where we look at every single thing differently. And it's important for us to try to grab these events, grab these moments, and try to see what impact it could have, and then look back at other events and see how have they changed us for the better or for the worse or for different. How did they impact our lives? So on that, I would like to wish you a great Shabbos.